Identity issue is very important, particularly in this historic period where identities are the issue in international politics in a globalized world, and we all have to live together. We can't kill people who are different from us. So how can we live together? That's my question. The work here is called onlar, which is a Turkish word for they, or them, really. It's everybody who is not like us. People that we're not familiar with, or we think they are kind of not normal, or they are threatening to us. It's different, somebody who is different. Essentially, I have about 6 individual panels, and that's one zone. And the second zone is where there's a triptych, 3 panels, and a table around which the visitors are invited. The characters fill up the entire space. They tell us their life story. So they're like, in this very dark space, which sort of feels like a vacuum, a dark universe. They appear like shining stars. They appear and they disappear. And the same thing with the sound, but the sound is like whispering. It's whispering in our ear, very private words. And they're all mixed together. And in fact, there is an ambient sound, which is a mix of different languages, all mixed together. If we concentrate and listen to their whispers, we will understand their story and perhaps we will empathize more with them. My people here are only a small sample, actually, of the great mix in Turkey. Turkey is a melting pot. Anatolian soil territory has always been a melting pot. But in this show, we have several Armenians speaking and Kurds speaking. I have several Jews speaking. And we also have women who have been victimized until very recently for wearing the headscarf. And women subject to domestic violence and all kind of male abuse. And gay and lesbians and transvestites. They're all in here, and there are religious sects which are also not looked at favorably by the Sunni majority in Turkey. So there's all of this, and I try to look at all of these problems and meet with them and talk to them about their stories. I started my project without big ambitions, really. I simply wanted to define the other in Turkish history and Turkish culture. And in the end, I realized how much I learned. I learned about the history of the Armenians beyond what the state-approved textbooks taught me, and the history of the Jewish settlements in Turkey from 500 years ago, when they were expelled from Spain. The sadness and brokenness of the Romanis, like everywhere in Europe, and on and on. So as we talked and talked amongst us, really, it turned into a very private confessional situation, because my people had to trust me to tell me wholeheartedly, and in not ways to protect themselves politically. They were speaking from the heart, and they just told tragedies. So in the end, I think that the one provocative aspect of the project turned out to be creating greater consciousness, self-awareness, and national awareness. People who watched this work, they felt shame. They were ashamed and embarrassed, and they told me that. They told me that they really didn't know what was going on in Turkey. They didn't know their own history, and certainly nothing about these very authentic stories. So we learned that these people are human beings, they are individuals, they are human beings, and they are real. And I think that's what everybody should learn. When I thought of showing my work in other places outside of Turkey, I thought, well, why would anybody be interested in Armenians in Turkey, Kurds in Turkey, Jews in Turkey, or gays in Turkey, because everywhere there are other issues and other problems. And then it dawned on me that this is a universal issue. And so I thought that if people in Brighton, for example, really responded to any one of the stories and took time to sit down and listen carefully to a voice which is not imposing itself on us, that they would come out of it with a maybe different understanding of their own prejudices, of their own misunderstandings, in their own selves and in their own societies. So I thought, maybe it would speak to them.